Hey there, this is Christy Winfrey with Legacy Transactions, bringing you another Tuesday tip this week. This week, we're going to talk about how to fill out the addendum for sale of other property. I get this question a lot, so I figured I'd create a short video to go over that with you. So this is your addendum for sale of other property by buyer. This is when you would use, if you're writing an offer, if you need to make the offer contingent upon the sale of the buyer's home, you would use this addendum. Something I want to point out right here is it says that the contract is contingent upon the buyer receiving their proceeds from the sale of the property. That would be the property they're selling, their address, and you would put on or before whenever it's closing. What I want to point out is it says if the contingency is not satisfied or waived by the buyer by the above date, the contract will automatically terminate and the earnest money will be refunded to the buyer. So a lot of times I'll see the date here be the same date as the closing date on the contract that you're writing. If the buyer's home is going to close before that date, you want to make sure that if for some reason that contingent property gets extended and it does not close on time, that you extend this deadline. Because if you don't, what this says is that it will automatically terminate and the earnest money will be refunded to the buyer. I think that gets missed a lot. So that's really, really important to make sure that you're paying attention to those dates. Secondly, right here, it says if seller accepts a written offer to sell the property, seller shall notify buyer of acceptance and the seller requires buyer to waive the contingency. Buyer must waive the contingency on or before however many days are here after the seller's notice. So if you represent the buyer, I would say maybe put 3 days in there. I usually see probably 3 days. If you represent the seller, you would want them to have a shorter period of time. That way they make the decision quicker. And then paragraph C, buyer may waive the contingency only by notifying the seller of waiver and depositing extra earnest money with the escrow agent. So if you're representing the seller, you want a higher dollar amount here, because keep in mind, if you're accepting a backup offer or not, if you're accepting another offer, then most likely that offer is better than this offer. And so that's one of the reasons that you would want the buyer to either deposit a larger sum of earnest money or terminate the contract. And now that's not always the case. You may just be accepting a backup offer because you feel like the first one may not go through. But if you're representing the seller, it's better to have a larger dollar amount here. That way they have to put more earnest money down. However, if you represent the buyer, you would want to put a smaller dollar amount here. That way they could waive the contingency and only have to deposit, let's say maybe $500 more dollars. So depending on who you represent is what you're going to put in paragraph B and C. And but that is how you fill out this addendum for sale of other property. We also want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays, since that is later this week. And hope you have a fantastic week. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And like I said, you can always watch these videos on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. Have a great week.